A man suspected of killing 6 men and wounding a woman in a series of shootings in Northern California was arrested before dawn on Saturday, as he drove through the streets of Stockton, armed with a handgun and possibly searching for another victim, police said. Investigators began watching the suspect after receiving tips and stopped him in a car at about 2 a.m. in the Central Valley City, where 5 of the shootings took place, Police Chief Stanley McFadden said at a news conference. Wesley Brownlee, 43, of Stockton, was dressed in black, had a mask around his neck, had a gun and was out hunting, McFadden said. Police believe the same person was responsible for killing a man 70 miles away in Oakland in April 2021 and wounding a homeless woman in Stockton a week later. But who were the lives that were lost by this evil act? Let's take a minute to get to know each of them. Juan Vasquez Serrano, 39, was killed in Oakland on April 10, 2021. Serrano died from gunshot wounds at the scene. The Oakland Police Department was alerted to the shooting by its ShotSpotter gunshot audio detection system, but when officers arrived, the killer had already slipped away. Known as a car mechanic for hire who rode his bike through the Seminary neighborhood of East Oakland, Serrano was shot dead just after 4 a.m. on April 10, 2021, on the 5800 block of Harmon Avenue. Residents John and Sherry Smith remembered peering out their window to see a person lying near a telephone pole, awash in lights from an ambulance. They said Serrano, who was homeless at the time, was humble and well-liked, and that people occasionally let him sleep in the cars he was fixing. At some point after his death, a woman and girl came to the neighborhood to ask about Serrano, identifying themselves as his estranged wife and daughter, the Smiths said. They said they still loved him. Natasha Latour, 46, was shot 10 times in Stockton on April 16 of that year but survived. She claimed she was living in a homeless encampment when the gunman fired, hitting her 10 times. Natasha believes had police taken her seriously back then, there wouldn't be more victims. My calls were all unanswered, my concerns were all avoided, and now there's 5 people dead. Paul Yaw, 35, who died July 8. Yaw was a good boy who grew into a good man with a big heart, his family said in a statement to Jooba News. He was a son, brother, father, grandson, nephew, and cousin. Yaw is from Stockton and appeared to be unhoused at the time he was killed on July 8. His mother, Greta Bowgrove, described him in an emotional Facebook post as a sweet boy who grew into a man with a big heart. Shot to death on July 8, Yaw left behind a son, William. Salvador DeButy Jr., 43, who died August 11. DeButy, an aspiring musician and artist who was known to friends and family as Sal. He was getting a bite to eat when it happened, he told the Jooba News at his store on Wednesday. He was at a chicken stand, and the guy pulled out a gun and shot him. You could imagine, your nephew comes and says hi to you, next thing you know, he's dead. Responding officers found DeButy's body in the parking lot of a Popeyes shortly before 10 p.m. The 43-year-old was buried in an Oakland Raiders jersey, said William, who provided the funeral flowers, red roses for love and white lilies for peace. Sal left behind 4 children as well as his mother, Renee DeButy, and brother, Raymond DeButy. Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez, 21, who died August 30. Hernandez, who was born and raised in Stockton, was known by his friends and loved ones as Johnny. The youngest known victim in this spree was shot and killed in a car on East Hammer Lane on the morning of August 30. His ashes lay inside an urn in his parents' living room along with some photos she'd like to hang on the wall, but also considering whether moving out of Stockton is the best decision for her family given that she still has a daughter and is afraid for her safety. Juan Cruz, 52, who died September 21. Cruz also hailed from Stockton and was shot and killed early on the morning of September 21. Police responded to reports of gunfire at 4:27 a.m. and later arrived to find Cruz lying on the sidewalk on a palm-lined block of Manchester Avenue, near apartment and office complexes. and Lawrence Lopez Sr., 54, who died September 27. Also from Stockton, Lopez is believed to be the latest victim of the possible serial killer. Widely circulated photos show Lopez clad in a white t-shirt and a straw hat, kneeling and flashing a peace sign over Frank Sinatra's Hollywood star. "That was my first love," Gauna said. "He would cook for me. He washed my car before I went to work." The couple stayed together for 10 years and had 2 sons before they divorced. In addition to his sons, Lopez left behind 3 grandchildren when he was slain on September 27. Investigators were trying to identify a motive for the attacks. Police said some victims were homeless, but not all. None were beaten or robbed, and the woman who survived said her attacker didn't say anything. That's all for this video. We wish the families of those who have lost loved ones all the prayers, love, and support. This too shall pass. I'll see you in the next one.